My name's Crystal. I'll be the therapist that's working with you.
Okay.
I have a few things that we need to go over, but I first just wanted to see how it was to find the office.
It was fine. I don't know this area very well, so it's always kind of tricky getting here. But yeah, no. Once I got here, it was fine. Everybody out in the lobby was really nice.
That's great. I have a little bit of a map that has just a few blocks around here that can kind of help pinpoint our clinic if you need it.
Oh, that might be helpful.
So, okay, I'll get that for you when you're leaving today. Okay.
Cool. Thank you so much.
So I want to go over some of the housekeeping things that we do, Carolyn, when you come in for sessions.
Okay.
One of them is to go over the HIPAA and confidentiality here. And I want to let you know that we try to keep everything private for you because it's important to us that your information is confidential and not out there for everybody.
Okay.
Okay. There's a couple of instances where we have to share information even without consent, and that is if we think there's abuse of a dependent adult or a kid.
Okay.
Then we would have to report that. We're mandatory reporters.
All right.
The other instance would be if you are thinking about hurting yourself or somebody else, we have to make sure everybody's safe and protected.
Sure.
Okay. The last thing that we would share information is if you sign a release for somebody, and then we're going to give the bare minimum information to meet their request.
Okay.
Just sharing whatever it is they need, but nothing more.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to give you this to hold on to.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. We also like to share patient rights and responsibilities with people, and that emphasizes that you have the same rights pretty much as everyone else anywhere. They go into great detail, but really what it's outlining is that you should be treated like you're an adult and that you should be treated with dignity and respect. People should be doing nothing about you without you, should be included in developing your treatment plan, making sure that you're feeling comfortable advocating for yourself and letting us know what you want to work on. Okay? So that's another thing I'm going to let you keep.
Thanks.
The last thing is our handbook about our clinic. It has a lot of general information in here. So if you're ever sitting and wondering, I wonder about this or wonder about that, like how to get more information about the clinic in general, you can just kind of look through it. I always tell everyone it has a lot of valuable stuff that doesn't seem important, but it can be helpful later on.
Okay.
It also has our clinic phone numbers and some crisis and advocacy numbers too.
Okay.
The crisis numbers are really good if you need to talk to someone in between your appointments when we're not open. Okay.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to let you have that to keep.
Thanks.
The last thing I'm going to go over with you today is I have a consent that you probably should review. It's really just letting you know that what the ground rules are for treatment, and you're consenting to meet with us and let us talk to you about whatever it is you want to address. Okay?
All right.
So I'm going to let you review that quick here and sign.
Can you explain to me just really quick about the videotaping?
Oh, that is just in case we ever needed it for purposes. Usually it'd be like if we had a student intern, we might want to record a session so that they can share it with their teacher, their professor at college, just to make sure that they're learning what they should be.
Oh,
Okay? So we're not going to need to record like today, but we might sometime have to record a session, okay?
Sure, no problem. Thank you.
So what is it that's bringing you in for therapy, Carolyn?
Well, I'm not exactly sure. I've been having I had some troubles at work, and I actually just recently lost my job. And my boss had said to me that she thought that part of my problem was my mental health. Sometimes I have to take days off because sometimes I just feel depressed and I can't get out of bed. And so I think that's one of the reasons why she fired me, was because I took some time off, and I thought she understood that I needed to take the time off, but apparently, I guess she had to do what was best for the company. So.
Okay. How long have the issues been going on?
So I've had this sort of like depression, and then sometimes like it seems like a manic episodes, like back and forth for probably about 4 or 5 years now. But I've never really been diagnosed with anything.
4 or 5 years?
Yeah, 4 or 5 years.
Oh.
Yeah, like all the time that I was going to nail tech school, like I almost didn't graduate because I missed so much. But my teacher was really nice because she also has suffered from some emotional issues, and so she was really nice, and she worked with me and made sure that I got my stuff done. So,
can you explain to me how the issues affected you throughout the 4 or 5 years? You said something about being up and down and all around.
Yeah, so what happens is I get like in this depressed state and then I have a hard time getting out of bed, a hard time doing anything. I'm just feeling like sad or low or like gloomy like all the time. And then sometimes it just seems like it just like swings like the other way. And I make a lot of like rash decisions. I'll like stay up all night, like binge watching TV and stuff like that. And I might like go shopping and spend like way too much money, things like that. And then, but then like that never lasts. Like those feelings never last. And then I want to like depress again. And then I have problems on top of that because, like I spent too much money or whatever. And then my husband gets mad at me and it's just like a big problem. So.
Okay. So it sounds like you've been having these struggles for a while. What made you finally come in? Was it losing your job?
Yeah, so losing my job was a big thing, but also kind of the fact that somebody else pinpointed the issue and kind of like called me out on it. Whereas like before, I kind of knew, maybe there was something going on, but I didn't really think it was like that big of a problem. I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to even be here right now because it's kind of embarrassing.
Okay. What is it that you're hoping to get out of therapy?
Well, I'd like to find out if I have an actual diagnosis of something. Like, I mean, people throw around like bipolar disorder or like a bunch of different terms like that. But I'd like to find out if I maybe actually have something like that because.
Okay. So you were mentioning feeling embarrassed about having this issue and needing to come in for therapy. Is that partially, just because of stigma about mental illness? Have people said things to you about that in your past?
No, just my one boss. She's the only one that ever really like said anything to me like negative about it, like made it like it was a negative thing. Like I said, when I was in nail school, my teacher was really nice about it because she also experienced it. So she kind of was just very encouraging and kind of, helped me stay on top of things like that. But yeah, I mean, I'm kind of embarrassed about it now because I've let it get to this point in my life where it's now like a problem and I lost a job over it.
Okay. Well, what is it that you think therapy can help you figure out so that we can work through this together?
Well, I guess I'm trying to figure out, do I actually have a problem? What is it? Because I'm kind of like a very analytical person. So like I'll I don't know if it's good or not, but like I kind of will get on these like kicks where I'll be like researching things. So like if somebody were to say to me, yeah, you have bipolar disorder or something like that, then I'll research it and I'll try to find out everything that I can about it so that I can try to start to help myself. But I guess I'm wanting to find out if I have a diagnosis, but also just really wanting to talk with somebody and maybe trying to figure out like what my cycles are, like as far as like the ups and downs and see like find out triggers maybe. I don't know. Is that stuff that you can help with?
Absolutely. So Carolyn, I'm like, if you're okay with this, I think kind of a plan for us for next time, I could give you some homework. Okay. And you could maybe start tracking whether your mood is up or down and what happened right before that. Okay. Was there something that happened that was different? Maybe it could be maybe you ate something different. Maybe you were out with certain people. Maybe you were up late. Maybe you didn't get to work, well, I know you're not working right now, but it might be like you're running late all day, so maybe that's going to affect mood. But just kind of being aware of how everything going around is tracking with your mood. You can see if there's a relationship.
Okay.
And then the next time that you come in, we'll kind of review that journal, and we can kind of start keeping track of some of those things. And eventually, I'm thinking I'll probably make a referral to the psychiatrist just to do a little bit more in-depth evaluation since you're wanting a diagnosis to know if you have an illness or not. Does that sound like a good plan to you?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay, and we can keep meeting and just talking about things that happen in general too along the way. I can help you think through those things and we can figure out what you liked about how the situation went, what you didn't, and what you want to work on changing.
Okay. Wonderful. That sounds great.
Thank you so much for coming in.